Hi everyone, I'm Brock. So today I want to introduce the book 3 Days to See. And now, as you can see, it's almost 11 p.m. at night. So what happened today is that this morning I made the book review video. However, I forgot to share my screen, which means that this is
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Brock.
this is
So
how it
today,
looks
let's
like.
governance,
Personalized education. So as you can see, I didn't successfully record my screen, so I have to redo it again at night. So yeah, let's make it quick, so that I can go to bed early. This book is called 3 Days to See. Is one of Helen Keller's most famous work. Actually, it's a compilation of two separate pieces. The first part is Helen Keller's 1933 essay published in Atlantic Monthly. The other part is her 1903 autobiography, The Story of My Life. Basically, the book was written between late 19th and early 20th, an era filled with prejudice and discrimination against people with disabilities. At that time, deaf blind individuals are commonly believed to be incapable of receiving education, let alone pursuing higher education. And here are some historical significance. Helen Adams Keller, born in 1880, died in 1968, was a renowned American disability educator, author, and social activist. In 1904, she becomes the first deaf-blind person in the United States to earn Bachelor of Arts degree. She published 14 books, including autobiographies, essay collections, and political articles. And she also joined some social activities, got some honors and recognition. Her life turning points happened in February 1882 when she was 19 months old. She contracted acute congestion of the stomach and brain. And after a high fever, she lost her sight and hearing, plunging into a world of darkness and silence. Until 1887, when she was 7 years old, 20-year-old Anne Sullivan arrived at Keller's home as Helen's governess. Sullivan herself had been visually impaired and regained partial sight through surgery. She developed a nearly 50-year relationship between Helen, later became her lifelong companion. I think that both of them didn't get married. And the water revelation is this part is actually chosen into the Chinese book. I think that in my junior school. So on April 1887, at the wellhouse, a cool well water flowed over Helen's hand. Sullivan spelled WATER into her other hand. At that moment, Helen suddenly comprehended that everything had a name, and the door of language opened. This was the most important epiphany of her life. And the book contents. The main idea is that she talked about what she wants to do in the 3 days of if she has, the normal sight. First day, she will visit loved ones, observe nature, enjoy sunset. Second day, she will visit museums, appreciate art, watch theater. The last day, she will experience city life. observe crowds, watch comedy. And the second part is the story of her life. There are some key sections. Core themes. Theme 1, transformative power of education. Theme 2, reflection on sensory value. Theme 3, indomitable spirit. Theme 4, human connections. Love, understanding, and compassion are humanity's most precious treasures and the fundamental force enabling Helen to overcome difficulties. I agree. And here's some timeline. Key plot. First plot is the onset of deaf blindness. It's when she was only 18 years old, she got acute congestion of the stomach and brain. And then later, after the fever, although she survived, but she permanently lost her sight and hearing. Plot 2, Anna Sullivan's arrival. When she was around 7 years old, it was an afternoon filled with anticipation. Helen sat on the porch steps waiting. When footsteps approached, she reached out her arms and someone embraced her tightly. That was Anne Sullivan, the person who would unveil the mysteries of the world and change her life forever. Plot 3, the watch revelation. This was the most important moment in Helen's life. As a warehouse covered with honeysuckle, someone was drawing water. Sullivan placed one of Helen's hands in the spout, letting cool well water flow over her palm, while spelling WATR in her other hand. I think that these sentences is beautifully written. Suddenly, the flowing word awakened my slumbering soul, betoning light, hope, and happiness, bestowing freedom. Plot 4, learning to speak. And had always longed to speak like others, not just communicate through sign language. So after she knew that someone else who is deafblind how to speak, she wanted to learn to speak as well. And the first sentences she said is, "It is warm." Plot 5, the Foster King incident. When she was around 11 to 12, she wrote a story called The Frost King and sent it to Mr. Naglos, principal of the Parkinson Institution for Blind. Initially, Mr. Anagos loved it and published it in the school report. However, someone found its striking similarities to Margaret Canby's The Foster Farewells. So Helen was accused of plagiarism, and she was brought to a tribunal of 8 people, and she got so much pressure and eventually fainted. Then people find that maybe she have heard of this story when she was around 8 years old, and the story maybe remained in her subconscious memory. So for a long time, she is afraid of writing, fearing unconscious plagiarism. Plot 6 is she prepared for college when she was about 16, 17 years old. And she facing a lot of challenges such as textbook, classroom, communication. Finally, she passed all subjects and received honors in German and English. And here are some important people, such as Anne Sullivan is her teacher, mentor, and lifelong companion. Alexander Graham Bell, telephone inventor, advocate for deaf education. It's actually very surprising for me. I didn't know the inventor of telephone has a personal relationship with Helen. It's yeah, it's surprising. Her father, mom, and her sister. Yeah, there's some description about uh, advantage, disadvantage, opportunity, and the challenges. So the writing style is dedicated sensory description, combination of philosophy and lyricism, use of contrast, sincere self-reflection, and literal techniques such as symbolism, use of metaphor, narrative structures, and the literature value, paradigm of inspirational literature, milestone in special education, depth of philosophy reflection, cross-cultural impact. And this is her plan if she has 3 days of sight. Insights. Cherish the present, be grateful for what we have. Insight 2. Education's true meaning is enlightenment, not indoctrination. Insight 3. Obstacles can transform into advantages. Insight 4. Power of human relationships. Insight 5. Learning is a lifelong journey. And here's some practice we can try. Some quotes. Live each day as if it were your last. Suddenly, that flowing word awakened my slobbering soul, bestowing light, hope, happiness, and freedom. Those who have sight say little. Though my body is not free, my heart is free. Yeah, that's it. Well, because I already, it's because I already, go through this the book review this morning, and when I have to do it again, I felt that I cannot be as patient as I do it first time. So I went through it pretty quickly, and sorry about that. Yeah, so a good reminder. I should always remember to share my screen next time. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. And thank you, everyone. Bye.